First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, this would not be possible. Low Nose Boxing. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe. 2024, let's get monetized. I want to talk about Terrence Bud Crawford, and I want to talk about Jerron Boots Ennis. 2023, Terrence Crawford solidified himself as a certified great, a certified Hall of Famer. I mean, he already had the accolades, right? 3-division world champion, former undisputed champion at 140, became an undisputed at 147 in the 4-belt era. The first fighter to be undisputed twice in the 4-belt era, Terrence Bud Crawford. And then to top the year off, he's Fighter of the Year for me. He defeated his nemesis, Errol Spence Jr. But he has unfinished business at 147 pounds. There's a lion by the name of Jerron Boots Ennis. Terrence Crawford's discrediting Jerron Boots Ennis, saying that he's not a draw, right? Jerron Boots Ennis is highly avoided, but yet highly skilled. Jerron Boots Ennis is a fighter who does have a following, especially within the urban hip-hop community. Even casual fans are starting to know who Jerron Ennis' name is. People are starting to know who he is. And I can't say that for everybody. When I was outside in my neighborhood, coming back from Domino's Pizza, my friends that are casuals approached me. They were like, "Yo, what you doing, Lo?" I said, "Man, I got a fight party upstairs." So they say, "What fight?" I'm like, "Devin Haney's fighting." "Who Devin Haney fighting?" "He's fighting Regis Prograis." "Oh, who's that?" "He's a good, solid fighter. He's a world champion." Nobody knew about that. That's why those numbers flopped. But that's a whole nother topic. The point I'm trying to make is people, them same folks, know who Jerron Ennis is. So this is a big fight. I don't think it's a million pay-per-view buys, but it's a big fight. Now I understand that Terrence Crawford wants to move to 168 and take on Canelo Alvarez, but I want Terrence Crawford to break the curse of this generation, of this era of boxing. A lot of fighters, they become pay-per-view attractions and then they get bougie. They forget about their run when they were climbing the top of the ladder. I remember when Keith Thurman was getting criticized for avoiding Errol Spence. He kept saying who Errol Spence is, what he done, right? When Errol Spence became the top dog, the big fish, Errol Spence started singing that same tune. He started saying, "Oh, tables turn." Now Terrence Crawford is acting that same way. And Terrence Crawford is one of my favorite fighters, hands down. He's going back and forth with Teofimo Lopez on Twitter, and he might just stay at 147 for one more fight for Teofimo Lopez. I feel that. But I feel that he should fight Jerron Ennis instead. That's the guy he needs to fight. And I don't want to hear people tell me, "Oh, Jerron Ennis is young." Let me tell you something. Throughout the history of boxing, most legends have took on the young, hungry lion that was on their heels. It's happened plenty of times. It doesn't always turn out well for the old legend, right? For the vet. But sometimes it does. And when it does, that's another notch under your belt, that you defeated a fighter that was younger, a young, hungry lion. That's like a lion, right? In a pride, the king lion. The cycle of life, a younger nomad lion goes to the pride and tries to take over, and most of the time they do, eventually. But when the older lion is able to fend off the younger, hungry lion, that's a huge notch under his resume in battles. Now I'm going to break down to you a number of fights where legends took on a young, hungry lion. You already know my gimmick, Low Nose Boxing. The past, the present, the future. Julio Cesar Chavez was a legend, right? He took on Oscar De La Hoya, a young, hungry lion. Pernell Whitaker took on Oscar De La Hoya, a young, hungry lion. Felix Tito Trinidad took on Fernando Vargas, a young, hungry lion, right? Trinidad beat Vargas. Unfortunately for Pernell Whitaker and Julio Cesar Chavez, they lost to Oscar De La Hoya. But shout out to them for giving the young, hungry lion the opportunity. And it goes further than that. Floyd Mayweather, people criticize Mayweather all the time, but Mayweather, to me, had a great resume. He took on Canelo Alvarez, the younger lion, the bigger lion, and Floyd Mayweather won that fight. And to me, that might be the biggest win in his career, even bigger than the Manny Pacquiao win, right? I can go on and on. Muhammad Ali took on Ken Norton. Sugar Ray Leonard took on Terrible Terry Norris. He lost, but he took him on. Roberto Duran took on Davey Moore, young hungry lion, and beat him. He moved up to 160 and took on Iran Barkley, a young hungry lion, and beat him. Hector Macho Camacho took on Felix Trinidad. He lost that fight, but he gave Trinidad the opportunity to be the face of Puerto Rican boxing. I mean, Sugar Ray Robinson done it. Joe Louis took on Rocky Marciano, young hungry lion, and lost. I mean, I can go on and on because my boxing knowledge is through the roof. The point I'm trying to make is that Terrence Bud Crawford has solidified himself as a legend. But if he's going to stick around and fight, he might as well fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis, if Terrence Crawford was to pull that off and win that fight, forget about it. That's a huge win. I'm giving him all the credit in the world, and the boxing world will. Whether he'll win that fight, that's a whole nother story. Terrence Bud Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis, that's the fight that we need. I made a list in a video that I made probably the start of the new year. I talked about the 5 fights that I want for 2024 if I had the power to make them. And Terrence Crawford versus Jaron Ennis is definitely on that list. So with that being said, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Low Nose Boxing, because low nose boxing. I'm out.